Well, I have successfully broken 4 bolts on this here engine, and so we're going to have to tackle this project tomorrow because I have something else to deal with today. Because my truck has been doing a whole lot of sitting. And because it has been sitting, I have got a massive problem to mess with here. If you take a look in here, this has been a big problem. I have literally mold growing in the truck because of this right here. So I need to go ahead and patch up these rust spots, and as you can see, I patched these up probably 6 years ago, and yeah, the rust has finally eaten back all the way through. And so today I want to talk about doing things yourself and when and when not to be doing projects yourself. First thing we're going to do is go ahead and get our polisher out. We're going to need this, and we're going to go ahead and grind out all those spots. Now, I did fix this, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. Actually, probably closer to 8 years now, so it's finally failed. Now, normally we would use a type of Bondo. This is Bondo glass. There's a bunch of other different types of Bondos, but because I'm feeling frisky, I want to go ahead and try some Total Fair and see how this stuff does. I know you can do up to like a 3/4 inch gap with this, so or 3/4 inch hole. So what I want to do is try some of this. We're also going to be using some of this Permatex windshield and glass sealant. I just want to put this around the glass wet, and then when I put the Total Fair in there, it'll kind of bond together. I'm going to try that out, and then we're just going to cover it with some Rust-Oleum 2-part rattle can paint. So let's go ahead and grind everything out. All right, we are looking like we're pretty much prepped. I know this doesn't look the best, but main thing is she's all clean, everything's ground down. Most of this is all going to be fine. We've got a little bit of a problem to deal with over there, and I know a lot of people are going to be hating and saying, oh, that's not going to last very long, but I do want to remind you that our objective is to get rid of the mold, and if you look at the rest of the truck, it's going to blend right in beautifully. But over here we do have a little bit of a problem because this is a pretty massive gap. So really I need something to fill this with. I'm thinking, I'm honestly thinking I might just put some glass on it. So I might just kind of just stuff this full with one set of the epoxy, the Total Fair, and then once that is kind of packed in there, then I'm just going to come over, put glass, and then do another layer. I'm not really sure. I mean, I should probably just cut this with a grinder and just cut that all off clean, but I think I'm just going to fill it and then cover it with glass, and we'll see how that holds up. I don't know yet. Let me go see what I got. If I have a piece of metal, that would be the best, but I think I don't, and I think glass might work fine. I need to be able to clean this a little bit better, so that way that sealant can get in there, that windshield sealant. And then also I need to come back and grind this down a little bit more, actually, now that I'm looking at it. All the rest of them I got good, but this one, let me grind this one down a little bit more, and I'm actually going to fill in this gap a little bit with some sealant to try and, you know, stop any water from getting this way, because yeah, this is our biggest problem area here. So here is my plan. I am going to fill it with the Total Fair, and then I'm going to try this Flex Pox out, and I'm going to use some glass to try and cover it. So I'm going to fill it with the total fair. Once it's filled, I'm going to cover it in the flex box, then I'm going to put the glass on there, and then I'm going to cover it in more flex box, then I'm going to cover that with the total fair, and then we are going to see if that holds it or not. And that's the beauty of doing things yourself. You get to try new stuff and see how it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it does, awesome. So let me go mix this up and fill the hole and cover all the rest of the stuff. I'm going to put in the Permatex first, so I'm going to line the glass with this and then put the total fair on top of that. I have a pretty decent working time with the total fair, so I'm just going to mix this up, put the Permatex in there, cover everything with that, and then smooth it all off. You know, when it comes to doing things yourself, I think a lot of people, you want to do what you're comfortable doing. A lot of people might not be that comfortable with something, and if you're not comfortable doing it, then that's not something that you should do. But I think at the same time, it's a good thing to be able to do a lot of stuff yourself and be able to try different things. Might be a little bit heavy on the hardener, but that is okay. All right, let's go work it out. All right, this is what we're looking like now. This stuff over here looks pretty good. I'm ready. I just need to sand that down a little bit and it could be painted. I probably could have put that on a little bit cleaner. I'm not worried about getting this off the glass. A little razor blade will get that off, but this stuff is a little bit more gooier and it's not drying as fast as I thought it would, and so I need to wait. I tried to put some of the total fair on top of it, but it ended up starting to pull up the glass, so I'm going to let this dry a little bit more and tack up before I try and cover it with the total fair. But then after I get this sanded down, we can go ahead and spray that with paint and we'll be ready to close this deal up. That is probably one of the main reasons why I wanted to try this. Total fair is so easy to sand, and yeah, this actually came out looking really good. I want to see how long it holds. I probably could have filled it in a lot better in some of those spots, but I don't even know if it's going to work, so we're going to find out though. I think once this hardens up, I'm going to go ahead and let it sit overnight, and then, well, actually it probably won't. I'm probably gonna sand this down a little bit and go ahead and spray this with paint tonight just to get it covered and to get this completely done. But yeah, this thing over here obviously looks the best because I put the most on it. I really sanded it down smoother than the other spots. The other spots look well, they could look better, that's for sure. But I'm gonna go ahead and spray these down with some acetone, wipe them all down, tape them off so I can paint these, and then go ahead and put some stuff on the other spot over there. And here is our first coat of paint. It looks well, it looks about what you would expect it to look like. Oh, it looks outstanding. Oh man, I think it looks beautiful. But beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And again, our main objective here is to get rid of the mold. So all I care about is this not leaking up here around the top, so that way I can get rid of the mold down inside the truck. But I'm gonna come back here, let that dry a little bit, and we'll come back, give it another couple coats. It's unfortunate. I probably should put more paint down here on the windshield, because when I spray it from this angle, obviously I get overspray all over the window, and yeah, then I had to clean that off, but that's what it is. So let me go over there and sand the other side now. Right, it's time for you to get rid of here. It's still pretty nasty. Gonna need to do a little bit of cleaning in here, but for now, I'll pressure wash this. And that is a beautiful repair right there, done in about 2 hours. Make it 3, but not too shabby. I still need to hit this, but I don't want to sand it because this paint doesn't seem to dry very quick. It takes quite a while. I mean, normally paints dry to the touch in like 15 minutes, but that stuff is not drying very well. I can come around and clean this up a little bit with a razor blade to get any extra paint and stuff off the window, but other than that, this is looking real good. Got the mat, all the mold pressure washed off of it. The rest of the truck still looks pretty dirty, but again, look at this beautiful vessel. I mean, this is called the Land Yacht, and it's a work truck, so I really don't care. I just don't want the mold in there. This should be fine once I sand this down. I mean, it's ready to be sanded now, but I need to give that a little bit more time before I sand, because if not, it's just going to be covered in stuff, and I don't want to mess that up. So instead, let's go talk about doing things yourself, and then once this is dried, then we can come out and finish sanding it. When it comes to doing stuff yourself, it all depends on what is going on and how comfortable you feel. I mean, when it comes to not doing things yourself, if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't have the time, if you don't have the tools or whatever it may be, and you don't want to go out and get the tools, then those are all reasons to not do something yourself. But if you want to do it, then I would encourage you to try and do it. I mean, nothing has to be perfect, and you don't need to worry about what other people say if you want to try and do something. As long as you're not gonna, endanger yourself or endanger somebody else, then I don't see why not. I mean, look at what we're doing right now. We're fixing something. We've got an objective of the mold, and we want to get rid of the mold. So that's what we did. We stopped the leak that's coming in, creating the mold, and now that we've stopped that leak, now the mold is going to be gone, and we fixed our problem. It's a work truck. It doesn't need to be beautiful. So I think if you apply that same thing, and that's a big reason why we even have this entire channel, is to help encourage you to work on your own stuff when you need to, and to do what you need to do when you need to do something, to just get it done and not worry about what other people tell you. Now all we need to do is go ahead and spray all this out with some contact cleaner, wipe it out with a rag, and then we will be able to just seal the rest of this crack up in case there's any kind of gaps between the glass. All these little spots I probably should have just went ahead and filled those too, but I didn't, so we're going to need to fill that with the windshield sealant. So I'm just going to spray all this out with the contact cleaner, wipe it out with a rag, and then fill it with this. Okay, let's give this a little trial run here. Nice shiny red, huh? And would you look at that? Nice and dry up in here. That is sweet. Well, looks like we have fixed our mold problem, so now I don't have to worry about growing mold in here no more. No leaks, all nice and dry, and that is why you should try and do things yourself.